Mr. Spenser, are you prepared to tell the court in your own words what happened on the afternoon of March 20th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
I had my partner drive me to the home of Captain John Boylan.
Your commanding officer?
That's right. I had prior reason to believe that Captain Boylan was intentionally burying the murder investigation of Gloria Wisniewski.
Mr. Spenser, please focus on the events that transpired on the afternoon of March 20th.
I confronted Captain Boylan in his home and attempted to question him about the investigation. In the ensuing argument, everybody knows what happened.
So it is my understanding that you are pleading guilty to the charge of disturbing the peace.
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead on the count of harassment in the first degree?
Guilty.
And how do you plead on the count of aggravated assault of a police officer?
Guilty.
Before I sentence you, is there anything further that you would like to add?
Yes. The son of a bitch deserved it.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheap Seat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheap Seat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
And that's the greater good for you and you. And no, there's just one. So just you. Just you.
Just the one.
Yeah, just that one.
Just that one. I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is, I don't know, hold on, I didn't say the other stuff. Tonight, this is episode 309. That's what I was supposed to say first. Episode 309. You'd think I've done this before. And tonight we're talking about Spenser Confidential. The Netflix original came out last year, Spenser Confidential. I am Sean Allred. That's now where I say that part. And Joining me tonight is Andrew. When you write 3 question marks, you know you're serious, Jimison.
I got smart pack. I don't know about you guys, but I got smart pack.
Yeah, smart pack.
Okay, I just have to say this real quick. This movie is not a serious movie, right? It's sort of serious. It's also funny stuff, but like I rolled my eyes when they did the big you know how the Russo brothers did in like and Civil War and a couple of their Avengers movies where they put the words of where you are real big.
Lobster.
Like, what? Why are we doing that? It was so...
Oh, I chuckled at that part. I was like, that's funny.
I laughed too, but I don't know for the right reason. I don't know. Maybe what. And Sam.
Yes.
Does his waterboard torture with foot water vector?
Absolutely gross, by the way. Really, really gross. Although, that water's probably cleaner than most because of all the different things they have to get passed by the board.
Yeah.
To make sure it's safe for people and stuff. But Sean.
Yeah.
I'm not going to kill you.
Okay.
I'm going to leave you alone. But my neighbor has this dog. And I'll just let you go past his yard to see this nice little dog here.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That sounds fun. Is it named what was the dog's name?
Oh, what was his name?
No, not the mean aggressive one. The fat beagle. What was it?
Pearl.
Pearl. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Pearl.
So yeah. I really enjoyed watching Mark Wahlberg get beat up in this movie.
Apparently,
so does Andrew's phone.
Andrew's computer did too, or whatever. Yeah.
No, for some reason, Mark Wahlberg, he kind of gets on my nerves, right? He's cocky and it's just kind of, I don't know, self-important, if that's a thing.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're not wrong.
So I enjoy watching him get his comeuppance.
That's fair. I mean, like, I don't really have any kind of my personal feelings about Mark Wahlberg kind of like end when he said out loud on the 10-year anniversary of 9/11 that if he because he was supposed the stories he was supposed to be on that plane, Flight 93.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be on it, but he got sick or he was delayed, and he has said publicly if he would have been on the plane, it would not have crashed because he would have taken out the terrorists himself. It's like,
No.
we know you can act like a badass, and we know that you've had fight training and things, but come on.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, but guys, it's Mocky Mock.
It is Mark. Man.
Mocky.
What that is, go Google it. Or don't. Maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. So anyway, yeah,
Go
gosh.
blind.
2020 actually came out this year in March. Spenser Confidential. This was a Netflix original. I don't know if it was always supposed to be a Netflix movie, or if it was one of those that was gonna get released in theaters, but because of COVID, Netflix was like, "Hey, we'll buy it from you." I don't know. It doesn't. There's nothing in the trivia that would suggest that. Of course, there's also almost nothing in the trivia. It's just, for whatever reason, these Netflix movies, I don't know why they don't have a lot of trivia. I don't know if it's producers on the show don't want people uploading I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Part of it probably also is there's not as much information out there about how they're made, and they're not. I mean, they're fairly new, so there hasn't been enough time really for people to write reviews and trivia about it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still a studio film. It's just.
Yeah, I think part of it, to your point, Andrew, I would say it's probably more about what the movie is than the newness. I mean, there was twice as much trivia on the Rise of Skywalker before that movie was even released than there is on this movie.
Well, but
but that's unfair because that's like the world's largest franchise right now. So
right, and it's not released on Netflix.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember comparing it to other Netflix movies like Six Underground or Extraction or any of the other half dozen that we've done. They're all actually about the same. They're all kind of limiting in the trivia. So I didn't get much because there wasn't much to get, but that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, this movie, gosh, Spenser Confidential. I had no idea what I was going to get into, what I was expecting with this movie. Like I knew.
Neither did I. I knew it was going to be like a longer 1-hour TV show, because I believe this was a TV show back in the day. But
I know that it's based on
a book.
It's based on a book or a book series. I don't know. I thought it was based on a show because I said that last week or the week before.
Yeah.
But I think I'm wrong. I think it's solely based on a book.
Okay. Well, then I could be wrong, but I thought there was a TV show.
Yeah, I did too. But
and it wasn't Spenser Confidential. It was like Spenser Incorporated or Spenser for Hire. Yeah.
But that's the name of the book. So so the novels were written by Robert Parker. Didn't we go to college with a Robert Parker, Andrew?
Yeah, we know him.
Yeah, that's cool.
Big Rob.
He looks good in this picture. Yeah, Big Rob because he's like 6'4". So, anyway.
Nice.
Yeah, it's based off the book. So anyway, again, I thought it was like a TV show, like a Perry Mason kind of a thing, also. Mm-hmm. But I guess not. But anyway, this movie. So I want to say this real quick before we do our 5 reviews and really get into it. So we are very fond of this director, Peter Berg. Mm-hmm. That name might sound familiar to you, maybe it doesn't. But this is a guy.
He went by Ice in college.
Iceberg.
Yeah.
He did one of our favorite cheap seat review movies of all time. He did The Rundown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I could
So
see
the
that.
quirkiness, right? There,
Yeah.
and the reason, and we'll get into our actual reviews, but this movie would not have worked without the quirkiness.
Yeah.
This would have been boring as snot. And the story alone was just horrible, except for the characters. I enjoyed watching these characters play off each other.
So he does The Rundown. Then he does Friday Night Lights. Okay.
Ooh,
Then he
I
does.
didn't know he did that.
Then he does The Kingdom.
Okay.
Which we've not seen, but it looked. I do kind of want to see it because it looked interesting. And then he does. Oh, I lost it. He does Hancock, which I liked. The Will Smith.
It was okay.
It was okay. I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun. He does some TV for a little while, and then he does the Battleship movie, which is pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Then he does Lone Survivor, which I've not seen but heard is pretty good. He does some more. He does a lot of music videos.
Yep.
He does some music. Then he does Deepwater Horizon, which again I've been
Boy,
told,
he likes his Mark Wahlberg, huh?
He does, and I've been told that Deepwater Horizon is a really good movie. And I haven't seen it yet, but I'm told. Then he does Patriots Day, which also has Mark Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mile 22, which has Mark Wahlberg, and then he does this movie. And then he's directing 2 documentaries, the Chris Cornell documentary and the Rihanna documentary. So
Interesting.
anyway, my point is that we love him because he is the director of The Rundown.
Good stuff. Yes.
Yeah, some fun things.
One of my favorite movies, Rundown.
It really is. It's such a fun movie. And you can kind of see a little bit of that funness in this movie.
Yes. The relationship between him and his girlfriend, if she is his girlfriend.
Yeah,
right?
really
And
the relationship.
basically the relationship between all these characters. I would want to just sit back in a room and watch them interact like all day long.
Yeah.
I think that would be fantastic.
His dad, Alan Arkin, was hilarious as the dad. He cracked me up when everything he said. I mean, he's like, "You came into the house yelling and you punched me in the eye. Why'd you hit me in the eye? I'm old." Like, what? And then he's like yelling on the phone. He hit me in the eye. And he goes, "I have to pee." And he goes, "Man, I will gag you, old man." He's like, "You can gag me all you want. I'm still gonna pee in your car."
Exactly.
I mean, it was just so funny. There's a lot of really funny things in this movie that just really kind of endeared me to it. So, Sam, why don't you hit us with your 5-word review?
Sure. My 5-word review. I've actually got 2 of them here. The first one is Boston hits in the face.
Yeah.
And then my second one, and this is really more of my review, is fun characters in a bad story.
Okay.
And I think, I just think the story, I mean, I saw the twist and turns before anything else really happened.
Yeah, definitely.
And the only thing that kept me watching this thing were the people in the movie themselves. It was fun watching the banter. It was fun watching his crazy girlfriend and the old guy and what's his name from Black Panther. And I wanted more of that throughout the movie, but just the story felt flat. We've seen it all before. We've seen that story, and I just don't know if that really, I don't know, hurts the movie to a certain extent, or am I just having too much fun with the quirkiness of it? So I'm kind of weirdly on the fence.
All right.
Whether this was good or bad.
I'm with you. I feel like it was. I feel like it should have gone one direction or the other, meaning it was quirky, but I feel like it would have been better if it were more that direction, or it would have been better if it were more serious. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like it had an identity, but it was kind of a split identity, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, this movie reminds me a little bit of The Hitman's Bodyguard, which, as you guys love that movie, and I'm going to bring it up at every chance I get. And it kind of reminds me of that because it's two dudes that are having to get along together that kind of don't like each other, at least not at first, and then and hilarity ensues. And Hitman's Bodyguard, I think, does the humor mixed with the action, I think, a little bit better. But again, that's also Ryan Reynolds and his comedic timing versus Mark Wahlberg, which I think is, it's not quite fair to put those two up against each other. But it straddles it. I think it straddles it pretty good. I was laughing. I mean, my wife later, I didn't watch this with my wife, but she later said, hey, what'd you think of the movie? I said, it was pretty funny. She said, yeah, I could hear you laughing. And she said, is it supposed to be funny? And I said, yeah. I mean, it's an action comedy kind of a thing with some serious notes.
Can we say that the truck scenes, the semi scenes in this movie were done 10 times better than Angel Has Fallen?
Man,
right?
I'm not gonna lie, that is the only part of the movie at the end with the truck that I didn't see coming. That was the only part. Everything else was telegraphed a mile away. As soon as I saw on camera who his partner was, I'm like, oh, gosh dang it, this computer.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hold on.
Is it catching up?
No, it just froze. Well, it didn't freeze. It's giving me that system too slow. Or this computer is it's nearing its end of life. I'm gonna have to start recording on my work computer. Yeah, I didn't see that truck bit coming at all, and it cracked me up, man. When that truck came barreling through, I was like, oh, okay. And I just love the fact that. Oh no, my point was that I knew that as soon as I saw the guy, I was like, oh, he's the bad guy from Spider-Man: Homecoming. He's a bad guy in this movie.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a bad guy. So, I mean, I didn't, but again, I also didn't care. It was still pretty fun. I did feel bad though for some of his buddies, like that poor guy at the taco shop, right? Like, there's dudes with machetes in there, and then he backed his car into the place, and
then they left.
And then they leave, and felt bad for that guy, So, Andrew, what was your 5-word review for this?
Well, I've got 2 as well. The first one is I've kind of already spoiled it a little, but should have used Smart Pack.
For both the car and the truck. That would work for both.
And in the
in the school bus yard.
In the bus lot, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of vehicular destruction in this movie.
And then the second one here, always overly touch the hot dogs. just put them in the pan and then touch them a lot. And that's how you cook hot dogs.
With your fingers. Like,
with
not
your fingers, yeah.
That grossed me out.
It's so weird. Yeah.
Kind of grossed me out.
I will tell you though, the lobster, it really made me hungry for some lobster. Watching them eat the lobster. Man, that looked good.
I just cracked me up when she says, I didn't capture her much. Actually, I didn't capture her at all because she swore too much. I couldn't capture everything she said. But when she says, he's like, you want to get something? She's like, what do you want to go do now? She's like, go buy me a lobster. And he goes, what do you want to do with it? She's like, I want to have it as a pet. What do you think I want to do with it? I want to eat it. Like, that whole bit cracked me up. Just everything about their relationship just cracked me up. And,
right?
Yeah.
God, they're so weird.
And
it's just so weird.
And then I'm not gonna lie, the scene with them doing it in the bathroom. Okay, first of all, that just sounds dumb, but like, it felt like he just like pushed her onto the sink. Like, it felt like we didn't see him, or at least hear him, like undo his pants.
Yeah.
It's like they're just into it. And I thought, there's some logistics that didn't happen there. And then the thing is, like, he's tucking his pants in. I'm like, oh, whatever, that's fine. But she's screaming in the bathroom and breaks the mirror, and then oh my gosh, it cracked me up. All right. My 5-word review was simply fun buddy cop Black Beauty.
Betty?
Black Betty?
Oh, was that the name of the truck? I thought it was
Yeah.
Black Beauty. Is it
No,
Black
that's a
Betty?
horse.
Black Betty. Yeah.
Black Betty, Bam Lamb.
Yeah.
Did they play? They didn't play that song in the movie, did they? They should have.
No, I don't
They
think
played
so.
a lot of.
They
played a
probably
lot-
did not have the rights.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, gosh, how expensive is that movie? That song. Of all the other songs that they had in that movie, this movie had a lot of licensed music. I didn't even notice that Steve Jablonsky was the score writer.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Neither one of you did. He's the guy that wrote Transformers. He's done
Yeah.
some music.
Yeah. He's
He's
done
doing
some
some good stuff.
Yeah. But there's so much popular music in this. I don't remember anything about the. Let's see. They did a Boston. They did two. They did Long Time by Boston. Drive Me Crazy. Let's see. You Dig by Travis Barker. Travis Barker.
Who's that?
Isn't Travis Barker from Blink-182? I think yes.
Sounds like it. The drummer or something, isn't he?
But he says, but it's performed by Germ, so maybe that was one of the bands he was in. Let's see. Trying to think of some other ones. Mississippi Queen. That part was pretty cool. Sweet Caroline. DOA.
I did hear the Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, at the ballpark. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
At the
yeah.
Bapak.
Yeah. Amazing Grace, of course. Oh, they did Black Betty, written by Leadbelly. All right. Sweet Emotion by Aerosmith.
No, I do remember Sweet Emotion.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, good. There's good music. It was fun. It was just like last week with Guns Akimbo, where there was some really fun kind of licensed music.
Yes.
I had a good time with that. That was pretty cool. Oh my gosh. I tried to explain to somebody today. What was it? I think it was my mother-in-law. She's visiting. I was trying to explain to her Guns Akimbo.
Oh yeah? How did you explain it?
Well, the problem is that she's not seen any of the other movies that we compared it to, so
Oh,
that
shoot.
made it
Okay.
difficult. And I was like, I don't know, like imagine Harry Potter gets guns nailed to his hands, and then he's forced to shoot. He's forced to fight a girl that he doesn't want to fight because the bad
That
guys.
sounds like a horrible movie.
It does, and then we got on a fun conversation about like Daniel Radcliffe will forever be just Harry Potter.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, like some of the other actors have been able to kind of break out of that.
Yeah.
But
And now-
he's going to be, dead Harry Potter, handguns Harry Potter.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like, and I think that's partly why he's doing all these weird movies. It's 'cause
Yeah. He knows he's typecast.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's fine. Well, I mean, and also, I mean, let's just be honest. Of that cast, only him and Hermione Granger are having, careers in Hollywood. The rest of them
Yeah.
are. I mean, they're making movies and TV stuff, but it's all British stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good on you.
Poor Ron Weasley is just having a hard time doing anything.
Is he really? I don't know. I don't.
Well, Jenny Weasley is apparently not doing anything. So.
Rupert Grint. Let's see. What is old Rupert doing? That's a bad photo of him. Yeesh. I'm just saying, it's a bad photo. He's in something called Servant. He was in a miniseries called The ABC Murders. He was in a TV show called Snatch. He played Charlie Cavendish. I wonder if that's a TV show based off the movie.
Sounds like it.
Mhm.
It 100%
Snatch-
is. It's
Yeah, I was about to
100%.
say Snatch was a British thing too, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is. Because the poster is like exactly the same. Like a rip the same. He did I mean he's doing stuff since the Harry Potter. So I mean good on him, but like I said, it's all the British things. So and that's fine. No problem.
Okay, can we get back to this fucking movie, please?
You know
Bravo, brother. Bravo.
You know what the worst part about that is? That now I have to edit in two places. I have to edit the recording and now the YouTube thing. God dang it.
Sorry about that.
I'm gonna bill you for my extra time.
I was kind of waiting. I was debating in my head doing something like that. Especially after this movie.
I was gonna say you can't use that accent and
my
not say that
gosh.
word.
Right?
It's kind of like people in Canada. It's a word they use just on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. The word is uttered a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Did it bother any of you guys? I know some movies it bothers me. This one, it didn't bother me as much. Maybe it was the Boston accent. I don't know.
I think it's yeah.
I think it's. Were you expecting to hear that word from that accent?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just part of the vernacular. I mean, anytime I see a movie in Boston, they all talk like that. And
Yeah.
I know Wolf of Wall Street's New York, not Boston, but I mean, it feels like if you're in that New York Boston corridor, that's just the way you talk. And
Mm-hmm.
I worked with a dude from that area, and that's what he did. He used the F-bomb as a placeholder, like we would say or like. He used the F word, and like it was his thinking word, and you just dealt with it. You just got used to it. I mean, but we were also at the time we were working on a film set. Everyone curses on a film set.
Oh, really?
Well, all the film sets I've been on, I should say. I don't know, but all the low budget garbage that I've been on, they all curse. Maybe the bigger budget, the better class of tech or crew, maybe they don't.
I doubt it.
But I kind of doubt it.
I doubt it. Yeah.
It's just a bunch of swear McSwears.
Do we have a hopping man in this movie? The partner of the framed cop, the chubby white guy that he meets in the bar.
Yeah.
Does that guy ever come back?
He never does come back, does he?
Yeah, he kind of doesn't say anything and then just tells the other guys to leave him alone. He apologized, and then he just walks out of the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I didn't pick up on that, but yeah.
Sorry, I told you a couple podcasts ago that I've gotten in the habit of rewatching the movie on silent while we do the podcast, so I can maybe pick up something I missed the first time. And I just got to thinking about that when I saw him on screen. I thought, I don't think he ever comes back.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, he doesn't come back. That's interesting. By the way, those FBI agents, they were terrible.
They were really bad.
I don't know. I just like the over the top crazy actor guy, the dude. Like I hated anytime he spoke. I hated it. I don't know why. He weirded me out. I don't know why. It did.
Well, I know that this movie is supposed to be funny, but characters like that, to me, kind of take away from what the story is trying to say.
Yeah.
Because and I guess that's what you call overacting.
There was a lot of that in this movie, though.
But at the same point, that type of overacting I don't like. But like the other ones I was perfectly fine with. It's just it was like the character was not believable or something.
That's what it is. You wouldn't meet somebody like that in real life.
Yeah, how did that guy become an FBI agent?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, the Transformers, and I hate to anything with Transformers, but the agent in Transformers with the underwear and all that sort of mess, it just ends up being just utterly stupid.
Yeah, even though I like him as an actor, but you're not wrong. We have very, very few things nice to say about. In fact, I turned the TV on, and the last channel it was on I think TBS, because I was watching reruns of Big Bang Theory or something, and they had it was The Last Night was on. It was the Transformers Last Night, which I haven't seen. That's the only one I haven't seen, and I saw that they dragged poor Sir Anthony Hopkins into that movie, and I thought, what are you doing? Are you just bored and need a paycheck? Like
cash grab. Yeah.
You got a boat payment coming up? I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah.
it was just there wasn't any Transformers. I didn't see any Transformer. The only reason why I even knew it was a Transformer movie, honestly, was because the blonde girl from the newest from the third movie with
Keanu Reeves.
no, yeah, with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
She was like throwing papers or something, looking through books or something, and I thought, wait, she's not in these anymore. I thought when they brought in the new girl and Mark Wahlberg, we got rid of her, and then she was back. I was confused, but I didn't stick around long enough to care. I went and watched a rerun of Star Trek or something. I don't know what it was. Anyway,
You know,
doesn't matter.
speaking of unbelievable actors, there was something in the convenience store scene. He's looking at the footage on the camera. You know, I know you have video cameras and security cameras around your business, but do you really have one pointed across the street at another business that is going to clearly show you what's happening over there? You know?
Again, the story, that setup was just to have a funny him coming into the convenience store and unplugging the cable box and not understanding what the cloud was.
But I mean, okay.
Yeah.
It was a funny scene, but here's the thing that really annoyed me. I mean, really annoyed me about that scene specifically. We're in 2020. He goes into jail in 2015. Okay.
Yeah.
The cloud has been around longer than 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For him to act like he doesn't know what the cloud is kind of dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
If this was 2010 and he went in 2005 and the guy said it's in the cloud and he doesn't know what that is, fine. Right? We didn't even start using the word cloud until like 2012 anyway. Right? And I've installed security cameras, and the first cloud-based system I installed was like a year ago. But it annoyed me, but it was funny and I captured it. So, yeah, and for what it's worth, it didn't bother me that they had the TV out in the open showing the footage of what was happening, because a lot of places do that to kind of discourage thievery. Right. But you're not wrong. The fact that 50% of their cameras are aimed at another place. You know, it's not like they were aimed out their front door and it happened to get the cop bar.
Yeah, and see, they could have easily done that though, right? They could have easily had, the view showing, kind of that off to the side a little bit, right?
There's any number of ways they could have done it that would have made it less obvious than this. The only thing I could think of is that there are so many issues at this cop bar that the owner of this gas station is like, I need to put cameras on this bar because these drunk cops come over here and harass my guys. That's the only thing I can think of. But you're making me think too much, Spenser Confidential, that I had to come up with that reason,
Yeah.
Yeah. What did we think of Post Malone?
Okay. Not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Post Malone. The funny thing is, I was having trouble with my sound when I started this movie, and I was only hearing one ear, and it was like trying to come in half stereo or something.
Yeah.
So I was only hearing sound effects and not talking.
Oh, that is weird.
So I had to, I was like, what is going on with this thing? And then I finally realized what was going on.
That's funny.
But when I I didn't rewind anything. When I tracked back, when I went backwards, I don't know. I thought he did okay for not being a real actor.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching Mark Wahlberg get stabbed. So, I mean, there's that.
I did think it was funny that he didn't even know he'd been stabbed. He's like, yeah, check, you turn around or whatever. And he's like, got you or whatever. I just.
Almost like it was a game.
Well, the weird part is that when those guys kind of showed up and he's talking with the guy, I thought, oh, this is like what they did in Ant-Man, right? Where it's like he has to get punched before he can get out of jail, right? Like it's 5 years without getting into a fight, and now he has to at least get in one fight. because they seemed really friendly and kind of. I know it seemed strange that all of a sudden he was there to try to stab him and kill him, and I thought, oh wow, wait, I didn't get that vibe at all. But then he finds out that he's Aryan Nation or something. I don't know. With the 150 tattoos he has, you would have thought that he would have had a Nazi one. I'm saying, like, he said he's Aryan Nation. I mean, that was a plot point, so that when M'Baku is taking his girlfriend out, like, that's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a 6'5" black man who is the Gorilla King.
Yeah.
Baka.
Speaking of him, I really liked him in this movie. You know, I know he's not the greatest actor, but
He was a big teddy bear.
yeah, I think that he did this really well. And the scene where he's destroying the fat guy's, you know, the car and scratches a kitten in the side of it. I was like, this big scary man is going to scratch a kitten in the side of his car.
Well, and the really funny part about it is the story that she tells, right? And then he's like, the guy killed a cat, and he goes, really? That's your takeaway, is that he killed a cat? And like, that's the part that stuck with him, was not that this guy beat to death a woman or had a woman beat to death, but the fact that he killed her cat just cracks me up. Honestly, I will say this about him as an actor, or in the movie. I will give the movie credit for having a moment of really good, some heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was in the scene where the mom of the slain husband, when they're over there trying to help him out, and he's in the kid's room, and the little boy just says, "Are you a giant?" He says, "Yes." And he says, "Can you fix my bed?" And for some reason, that moment got me as a parent more than, you know what I'm saying? Because there's something visceral, like, okay, yeah, they tossed the apartment and it's a bummer, but nothing's, you know, like, they're okay. But there's something about the fact that the kid, like, his bed was messed up, and for some reason that really got to me. I don't know what it was. I mean, I legit kind of teared up a little bit. I thought,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
a bunch of a-holes. They messed with the kid's bed. You know,
That
like,
kind of
bothered me.
That kind of got me too. And you know, having my house, you know, been robbed before, and my kids were about that age when that happened,
Scary.
it made me think back to that time, and thinking about how my son felt after that and reacted to seeing his stuff, you know, his mattress moved and his drawers open, and it's even the little kids sense that violation of personal space, you know, and
Yeah.
think that when I watched it, I was kind of the same way, Sean, and it's that personal connection for me kind of made me not necessarily emotional, but made me think about what that kid was going through.
Yeah.
And I, once again, just shows how cool that character is.
Yeah.
And again, the big teddy bear who is just brutal. I'm not brutal, but I mean, the man could mess you up if you wanted to.
Mhm.
But he probably doesn't want to.
Yeah. Not to make light, Andrew, of your moment, but you were burgled. You weren't robbed. So anyway, just
Yeah, same thing.
Burgled?
Yeah,
What's the difference between burgled and robbed?
I was burgled. I wasn't robbed. Robbed means you have a gun.
threat of violence.
Mhm.
If I come over to your house, Sam, and take your laptop off of your lap right now, but I put a gun to your head, that's a robbery. If I come in when you're not there and take the laptop without threat of violence, you've been burgled.
Yeah. I just think it sounds stupid to say burgled.
Opie's such a Ted Mosby.
I know.
You are such a Ted Mosby. I mean, this is
because I only know that because of my cop buddy friend Dave, who I worked with heroin. He corrected me on that stuff, and so it just stuck. So I always, because Andrew, I too have been burgled.
Yeah.
At our apartment at apartment 40, I had some guys.
in Boone, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, no one will care about this story too much, but basically, real quick, we were having a party as you do in college. There were these dudes that I didn't know. They were smoking in the apartment. I asked them to leave. They did. I went outside and was hanging out with some guys outside, came back inside, went to bed, woke up the next day, and my fraternity pin, which is painted gold, it's worth nothing. You know, it's a $3 jewelry piece, but it represents the hard work to get into the fraternity. They had taken my fraternity pin, some cash, a fake gold watch I'd gotten on a mission trip, and
My gosh.
And a necklace that I had back when I wore necklaces. And it's a violation. It still sucks,
Yeah.
And
Well, fine. I'll bring it back.
well, Sarah, my wife, then girlfriend, for our first dating anniversary, she bought me a new pin.
That's nice.
She went through some guys in the fraternity and found out how to buy another pin, and that was my anniversary gift, was a new pin. So
That's nice.
anyway, no one else cares, but people that do care about what we have to say are going to say fun things like, well, actually, that's it. I have no more notes.
That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, this is that type of movie, really. It's just so plain and simple, and it's just there's not much there other than talking about how cool these people are, and that's about it.
Oh, back to M'Baku as a character, right? So what I think is really kind of fun about him, and this goes back to your point, Sam, about bad writing, is that it's not just he has to have. So there's a lot of moments. It's not a Popeye moment. It's more like there's a name for it. There's a trope. And I bet you if I Googled the trope, I can find it. But it's the moment. It's the turn, right? It's the moment where a character's going one way, and then the thing happens, and it forces him to turn, typically to do the good thing, right? Like Luke comes and talks to Han, and Han is like, okay, I will come back and save the day, right? Like whatever that trope is. So, but in this movie, M'Baku has like 4 of those.
Yeah.
It's like he hears the story about the cat, so he's like, okay, I'm in. And then the thing with the kid happens, and then he's like, okay, I'm in. And then the thing happens at the taco place, and he's like, okay, I'm in. It felt like he had to be reconvinced to join the crusade.
Yeah, several times.
Several times, which I thought was kind of dumb. Just give us the moment with the kid. You don't need the other ones. Just the moment with the kid. He comes back into the room and gives Spenser a look and says, "Let's get these guys." Right. That's all we need. But I wanted more of him, and his accent is really interesting. I want to hear him say more words.
Yeah.
He's from Trinidad and Tobago, but he came here to America when he was a kid. I was looking up his bio. But like his lines that he had